All right, that ought to, yeah, that ought to work. Probably still ought to plug the thing up. What's up, people? I'm just doing a little check-in real quick because even on the weather band, they're saying it's like that there's a heat advisory down here. Whew, and they're not lying. It's hot. It's like 104 in the shade. So you gotta keep waters. I'm fixing to go get me some more. I'm gonna get a whole cooler full of damn ice water and shit, man. It's hotter than three hells down here in Louisiana. It really is. But like the title says, crawfish is good. I want to do this live real quick just to get a couple things off my mind because this heat I think is being caused down here in Louisiana and across Gulfport and Mississippi area, and then it's going to come up into Alabama and Georgia and all that. I think that the dust that's come from the Sahara that you might or might not have heard about, I put up a couple videos on that in a playlist. Somebody else's videos, I just put in a playlist. What's up, Icon? I think the dust is like doing like a mini greenhouse kind of thing. It's like baking us. It's hotter than three hells down here in Louisiana. I ain't even lying. And I'm gonna get into the mess with the delivery appointment and what was going on with that, but it's gonna affect a lot of people running reefer units. There was something else I wanted to get into. Well, they got rid of Chaz or Chop, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. They at least they moved down the barriers. Now, what threw me was they went in there with big pieces of equipment that probably put the barriers there in the first place, and they're all spray painted. So if you want to know the truth about who was actually paying for that, who put the barriers there, who blocked off the streets for that Chaz or Chop or whatever the hell they want to call it, until the point that one guy got on a video and was crying saying he got shot. Oh, I got shot and the police didn't come. Yeah, because you blocked it off and you made it a no police zone. But so I see here, Michael Medina, what's going on? Yeah, well, just I'm burning the hell up in Louisiana. I'm fixing to split, but I'm here for a good hot minute. I had to have some crawfish. They don't have no crawfish pies because they're about to close. What they did have was crawfish egg rolls, and I'm like, hell yeah. And I ate one, and then I walked back in there and I bought two more because so I got two for the road, one for now, and I got what was the other thing I bought? I don't know, man. It's just food. I'm not big on crackling, but I got boudin balls, and I've got stuffed. That one, I think that was the stuffed one. I don't know. That comes with cheese, and then this. I think this stuffed egg roll, I think it's like cheese in it too, but it's like a crawfish. So it's like a crawfish pie, but it's in an egg roll. I got three of them. And then, oh yeah, hey, I gotta show you this. I'm glad my camera's on this mount. Let me show you all this shit. If you can't get alcohol, like not to drink, like to wash your hands, like look, this is the last of my one bottle of alcohol. I've got like probably, I don't know how many more, but you see how low that shit is? I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I wash my hands with Dawn dishwashing soap in a spray bottle that I keep in my door, right? For this Corona shit, this is what I do, right? Water, Dawn dishwashing liquid, and some of this alcohol. And then I pour the alcohol straight on my hand after my hands dry. Well, and I use some peroxide too. I got lots of peroxide. You can get that shit all day long. But evidently, even though, coronavirus is just whatever, but they still ain't put this shit back on the shelf. I'm asking everybody, including if the government's watching, when the hell are we going to get some more alcohol? We're not drinking it. We need to wash our hands. I'm trying to stay safe. Alcohol works. What the actual hell, right? Okay, so here's the answer that I've got for right now for you people. I got a solution. I usually bring solutions at the same time I bring my damn problems. My problems, my solutions, but it's yours too. All right, this stuff's expensive, but like 29 bucks, but check it out. Lucas has started making, yes, it's the same Lucas as the additive for diesel treatment, hand sanitizer, but here's what it is though. You see how when you shake it, it just makes bubbles? You shake it, and it's just like, that's like they're saying 80 proof. This has got to be closer to 90, or it's 180 proof if you shake it and the bubbles go away quick like moonshine. But there's probably some kind of a different something in here. But there's no, see how it's liquid? This ain't gonna have a bunch of that jelly shit that you hate putting on your hands. This is just about like rubbing alcohol if it's 80%. So Lucas Oil Company, and it says 80% antiseptic, 80%. Maybe you can read it, maybe you can't. You know what I'm saying? I can only do so much. But I believe it says right here, 80%. It's like 29 bucks, but it'll last me for the rest of the epidemic, I believe. I'm gonna fill up my alcohol thing. So this is at this little no-name Chevron truck stop, Hammond, Louisiana. Now, you could probably, I think they sell this at Love's also. There was a Love's up north though, round about Iowa, that I went to. Oh, somebody's trying to talk to me on the radio, but I'm gonna turn it off. Hey, what's up? This dude over here. So, anyways, I'm going live yeah. Anyways, I think he knows what I'm doing. He just wanted to holler at me on the radio. Anyways, so check this out. There's a place that I think the Russians are actually taking cups of that shit and drinking it in their trucks. No, but it smells like vodka. You'd swear it was golden grain or vodka or something. In the Loves, that they said a local distillery is making their hand sanitizer. That shit's liquid, just like that, right? But it's such a high alcohol content, and there's no jelly to it. There's none of that nasty, which I like aloe, but you don't mix aloe in hand sanitizer. Sanitize your hands, then put some aloe on. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to make a damn profit. They're cutting it. It's like when if you was at a bar and they had moonshine and they would cut it back in the day, a long time ago, they would cut that shit, make it last longer, and cut it with water. Plus, so you didn't die of the 180 proof alcohol, because straight 180 proof like golden grain or Everclear will kill you. But you could buy that and you could mix it with stuff, but then it'd be illegal to have. But I got this with a label. Now you see what it is. You can wash your hands with it. I'm going to put that in an alcohol bottle. I'm going to fill up my old alcohol bottle because it's smaller. This thing's so big and heavy, and I'm just going to use it like that. But what I was seeing is the Loves in Iowa had a local distiller that was making what I'm calling vodka, because it smelled on your hands like vodka. You would think that you just now took a shot of vodka and put it on your hand. I was like, oh my God, that's vodka. He's like, oh yeah, the distiller makes it. I'm like, no, he ain't making hand sanitizer. He's making hooch, and they're putting that shit in the bottle and you put it on your hands. This is a little dispenser, and it's free. It's right there to register. Let's see. No, I know where that was. It was on the way down from Iowa. St. Joseph, Missouri. That's where it was. Because I was thinking it was a spirit like St. Joseph or something. It was some kind of spirit in that thing. I told him that. So I said, don't take that to church. It's some fire water, not holy water. Anyway, so the Russians, I think, are going in there with cups, Dixie cups, and getting their drinks on. But other news here, other things, other than the fact that you can get this Lucas stuff and refill your supply, okay? And people don't know what I'm talking about. You just came to the room here. It's this stuff here, 29 bucks. They'll probably last you the rest of the epidemic. It's 80% alcohol, and look how I shake it. It's not got that jelly shit in it, right? Because everybody hates that sanitizer. Look, it acts like a liquid. That's what you want. Real alcohol on your hands, not none of the. And if you want to just put hand sanitizer and all that, you know, work on whatever kind of skin issues you got. You may get some aloe plant and do that once in a while. But nobody wants to drive a truck with that shit on your hands. You know, you riding down a road. No, that's not. The hand sanitizer's got to go. It's unacceptable. We don't accept it as drivers. The other thing is, right now the delivery time sucks. Right now, what they're doing I'll go ahead and say it, that it rhymes with Walmart. Okay, I ain't trying to drag them down. I'm just telling you what they're doing. They've changed their appointment times, and instead of it being every hour, like you got it started at 3 a.m. It was 3 a.m. was the first appointment. You'd have a 3 o'clock, a 4 o'clock a.m., 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So instead of doing that and having people scattered out, and then if there's a couple people in the office, or if you're a little late, it's no big deal. Oh no. Let me tell you what they're doing to us now. They got us waiting outside the guard shack, 8 to 15 trucks deep down the road, right? You're not supposed to park on the road, but they can make you park on the road by having you wait on the guard shack. Now, all right, They get you in and they don't even give you a door now. They say, no, you got to go in and you got to talk to the people in the office to get a door. What the hell is that about if you got an appointment, right? I don't know. So, all right, fine. I think the people in the guard shack don't want to do their job. They don't want to give you a door no more. Okay, fine. So then you go in and there's nowhere to park for the full 18-wheeler. Now, if you put it in the door, you could bobtail to the bobtail parking. No. You got to pull up in some kind of way. They're like 4 wide to 5 wide, another row behind them, another row behind them. That's 3 rows of trucks, 4 to 5 wide, waiting to get into the office. And the yard man's pissed because you're all in his way. Now, you walk over across the yard man who's romping on it, getting mad. Walk over to the office, and there's about 20 drivers in a line. Because you remember, 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, it's about 20 drivers and more behind you, waiting to get in line. Social distancing, 6 feet apart. So some of them's on the step. At the top, there's 3 inside. You can't have more than 3 inside the building at one time in the little room. And you go in there, when you finally get in there, and you're like, hey, I had appointment time for this time, and I got here 45 minutes, before time, even you get there an hour and a half. You're going to spend 45 minutes before you get to the guard shack. Then you're going to spend another 30 minutes to 45 minutes waiting behind the same group of guys at the damn guard shack just to get into the office, just to get them to get your paperwork and say, go to this door, and we'll call you what? Maybe 4 hours from now. So now it's a full day to get unloaded at the place that rhymes with Walfart. Yeah, just saying. So now, like I said, they call you in 4 hours, and then they're like, hurry up and get out of that door. We need another driver in that door. This is the shit we're dealing with. Because now, instead of it being every hour, listen when I say this, the appointment times are every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, there's an appointment for a door that ain't going to be open for another 3.5 hours to 4 hours. What the hell they're thinking? I don't know. You can't even get in the office. They can't get you in and out in 30 minutes of the office to get to a door. So plan on being at that place 2 hours before your delivery time, or you will be late. And then they can say, well, we're going to just fit you in, and then it could be an all-day event. So don't get screwed if you're going to Walmart. I'm just putting it out there. This is what they're doing now. Every half hour is their appointment time, so they got us all bunched up. But they don't start now at 3 a.m. Now they backed it up to midnight. So it's midnight, then 12:30 is another appointment, then 1 o'clock, then 1:30, then 2 o'clock, then 2:30. So you see where I'm at, people? You got a whole line of trucks, a succession. It's almost like a brigade. You watch 5 move forward, 5 more move forward. We're all, our trucks are pretty tight, but it's like you can't even do a dress in between the trucks. I'm just being honest with you. That's how tight they have to be for the yard man to get around. You don't have a door until you even get in there. And so you're waiting. You're going to lose 6 hours delivering there. Is it worth delivering there anymore? I don't know. You want me to lie? I got a break out of it. I ain't sweating it. I'm not worried about it. If you don't plan on doing it so that you can either PC mile off and PC mile back, or however you want to do it, you know what I'm talking about if you're a driver. If you don't, people, we're just talking about logistics of freight movement in and out of that place, and it's now become a nightmare because they backed it up to 3 a.m. I'm sorry, to midnight. They started at midnight. It used to be 3 a.m. They backed it up to midnight, and it's every 30 minutes. So you've got a succession of drivers outside the gate that think they can get inside the gate in 30 minutes and make their appointment time. Now, yes, they stamp you at the gate. You ain't going to be in a door till about an hour and a half after your appointment time. So don't plan your day accordingly. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a heads up. That, and they're saying that you could get heat stroke even getting out of your truck. At this point, I think you're just going to have ambulances just waiting there. It's hotter than 3 hells down here, for real. It's like 108. 104, I think that's the shade, and I ain't seen no shade. If y'all see any shade, let me know. I'll get in it. There ain't no shade here. So, more is doing it on purpose to create shortages. No, I think what's going on is I think that because they have now destroyed the small businesses, they have destroyed them. You think about it for just a half a second, and I ain't gonna be long on this thing. It's good intel, but I'm just telling you straight up. When they shut down the economy, They could not afford to stay in business. Yes, there was some loans that was given out. Some of that shit went to some even bigger places, and they gave millions of dollars to the Kennedy Center. What the hell that's about? I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's just get real, though. The small man, okay, lost businesses like crazy. They couldn't afford to open back up and social distance. Not everybody's trying to go into restaurants and this kind of stuff. So, they don't even know what the hell to order for food because they base everything off of last year's sales and how much they bought last year of lettuce and tomatoes and whatever kind of food they got. So they don't know how, it makes it harder for them to even order stocks for that week because they don't know how many people's going to be in there. They don't know how many they can serve. They don't know if they're going to have, you know, drive-through delivery only and who's going to come for that. It's just up in the air. And a lot of them laid off people and a lot of them went belly up and completely closed up. So now, what's this now? Let's see here. We need you in Kansas. You're dying. Yeah. Well, I don't, yeah. Let's see here. Shortage, yeah. So here's what I'm saying. I think that they have now, somewhere between the riots that they decided to burn down local businesses that were actually helping the people in that community, because you know damn well the local people are on video going, that ain't us, we ain't doing that shit, that's some Antifa shit. Well, they don't even know it's Antifa, they're just saying, who are these people? And then they burnt down the Wendy's in Atlanta, and that was creating jobs for people, and it was busy even at night. That was your $1 burger you can eat if you're poor. Now, you know what I'm saying, now you can't get that, so you can't have a job. You know, they are jacking with the economy in ways that is going to drive people to the only people left selling anything for food, and that's that big box store, which is called a big box store. So I think it's just so damn ass busy. I think they've overbooked, and that's why instead of it being every hour for an appointment time, even though really they can't even take care of you right, and it's going to take you 5, 6, 7 hours to get out of there, they are now doing it every 30 minutes, and instead of starting loading or unloading at 3 a.m., they backed it up to midnight. So us truck drivers are delivering chicken and steaks and all that stuff as fast as we can. I'm telling you people, it has never been busier in my life than for me running a reefer. I'm not lying to you. The people need it, but I think they've created a situation in which those are the only places that have food, and it's going to become almost like a monopoly. I'm not going to say they're going to jack with prices. I'm saying that it's going to hold us up from hauling other freight when we're sitting there waiting to get unloaded 5 to 7 hours deep, 20 in line. You just took 20 drivers off the road in one fell swoop by trying to cram everybody in there and trying to expect to take more loads at 30 minutes at a time when you still ain't unloading shit. I had a partial. It wasn't even a full load. It was my second stop. So let's get real. They could have knocked me out in 30 minutes. Oh no, it's going to take, they've got 4 hours to do it from the time that you hit the top of the steps and go into the office. You sit there and wait another 15 minutes till they call you to the window. It says, be seated, wait to be called to the window. So then when they finally decide, after stapling and stamping and all the bullshit they do, oh, next, when you get up there, oh, great. Stamp your time card then for how long they've got to have 4 hours of your time. So they make it 3.5 hours after that point in time, and it already took you an hour and a half to 2 hours to get up the steps. So that's what they're doing, and they're taking drivers off the road because then they're either going to be out of hours from their computer log, or they're going to have to do a shutdown. It's going to affect freight in other ways. And like I said, I think it's because they've got so much food that they're selling to the people because it's the only place left in town to buy anything. And they're only open till 6 p.m. And it's not like they're really trying real hard, you know, to have everything in the whole world in place. They wanted to outlaw it, toe the line of the people that think you shouldn't even have seeds. So, but down here, like I said, forgetting about that business, but truckers should know that. Plan accordingly. But it's hotter than 3 hells in Louisiana, and it's because of that dust, and I think it's like a mini greenhouse until that shit blows away. So it's like 108 heat index. And it's it's the same day the stuff has, you know, now blown over the past couple days was in this area. It's the same time, the same day that dust came over. So they know what it is. They just don't want to talk about it. But anyway, other than that, I'm gonna have a egg roll. Y'all can talk what you want. I just wanted to get that off my mind. I've got other stuff that I know they did shut down Chaz, and if you want to follow the money on the Chaz thing, it's so simple. It's not. It's stupid, is what it is at this point. Wait till they have a city construction zone, because it's not just about who put the barricades out there of concrete, those Jersey walls. It's not just about who put them out there. It's about who owns them, because people own those as property and they rent them out. I bet they belong to the city. I bet that they're gonna, the next time you see a water main break and the city has to block off a road and they bring the concrete barrier out there that's been spray painted all over it and says BLM and F the police and all that stuff on there that's spray painted on there, you can follow that barricade. Follow the money. Follow the barricade. You can follow the barricade and find out who puts it out and who owns it. Because they're not gonna be able to get paint off of concrete, even with a pressure washer. So they ain't even gonna bother. They're gonna be proud of that. It was the mayor of the city that allowed it and allowed it to be paid for, and I bet you that the city owned those barricades, and now they're spray painted, so they're tagged. You follow the freaking barricades and you'll see who owned them, and I bet it wasn't even a rental company or a construction business. I bet it was owned by the city, because cities own pylons and they own those kind of barricades. But anyways, so I'm gonna go through some comments real quick, and then I'll be off this thing. Let's see here. Yeah, as far as intel, I hadn't been able to chase any more of the Antifians I've been running. Let's see here. Antifa burned down the Wendy's. I think they probably already got her. They're look. They're gonna stupid tricks get stupid prizes. They're gonna take that chick and they're gonna put her indefinitely in detention under the Patriot Act for terrorism, and she could be in there for 20 years before she ever sees a trial, and then it could be a military tribunal, and then she could go to Gitmo, or she could go to Leavenworth. Hell, they need to put them in 12-worth. They just need to go up a notch. Add one to Leavenworth, it's 12-worth. So yeah, let's see. Truckers a safe world. Yeah, well, they may be, honestly, I'm telling you, the whole reason I started my channel was to teach these new drivers that are coming in, because they only teach them CDL stuff and how to get a CDL, to teach them how to work on a truck so they don't freeze us to death, you know, on the side of a mountain. Because I've seen people that have, you know, man, they've had, I don't even know what to say. One guy had an exhaust leak and he died at a damn scale house, and all kinds of things. People have gotten anything from frostbite, and I think some have froze to death. I don't know. Anyway, so I put mechanical videos up. That was the whole idea of the channel at the start. See, this thing's giving me a little bit of an issue here, but it'll go away in a second. But anyways, because I'm idling. So, but yeah, I mean, I think with all these businesses closing, you may be right about that. The world is going to need some truck drivers, but I think that the truck drivers are going to need the job. The people are going to need to, you know, realize that, look, there's no more going to a factory, building a widget or a Watson or a car, getting a gold watch, getting a pension, taking a certain small amount of your salary and be able to afford a house. I mean, I've said it before too. Hell, the Native Americans had it right. You could go, you have a TP when you were a teenager, you have a house. And now you got to work 40 years for it, and you still might not pay for it. That's just the truth. You get down, you lose it. You got to start over. It's not the same as it should be. And so a lot of people are going to realize they should be driving a truck, because that's steady money and it's regular. Because look, the first thing into a company is a truck. You bring in what they need, they fill up their factory with all the equipment, they start making things, and you start bringing in the material they need to make more of it. Then they go out of business, right? All the people in that town get fired and lose their jobs. Some move away, some of them go broke, some of them damn near starved to death, whatever, right? But the truck driver still has to go back in there for the company that owns that equipment, or took a you know, put a lien on the place and says he owns it now under bankruptcy or whatever, and take all that stuff out of there on a truck, and then they auction off or whatever, and then they sell the building to somebody else or rent it out, and then another company moves in and moves their stuff in, and a trucker's right back in there bringing more stuff. So it's cyclical. It's a big cycle for a truck driver to always have something to do in every state. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be stuck in the state you're in. And too many people are like that. There was I'm gonna tell this story. There was a story of a tribe in Africa that one time they tried to move because it was dried up, there was no water there, and they wanted to teach them farming, and they wanted to take them to a different place. So they moved a whole village, moved it. They gave them some things and some seeds and stuff, and then they left. They came back like a year or two later, and these people had moved back into that old spot where there was no water and all this stuff, and they were starving again. And they asked them, why did you come back? They said, well, this is our homeland. We thought we were just going there for a little bit. Some people don't understand the concept until it's explained to them, okay? That you don't love a town that doesn't love you back. You don't love a house or hug a tree. You don't sit in a pot of boiling water like a frog until you die, until it burns you up and you die. You realize the water's getting hot and you get the hell out. So while there's no jobs in your community, look into getting a CDL, get a job that pays good money by going over the road, get the hell out of the situation. It is what it is. I mean, it's even a big leap for a driver like me to go out into the oil fields, because it's so far out that, you go out there, you run that for a little bit when it's booming, but not when it's bust, because it's boom and bust, right? But it's still a big leap of faith to take on a job way out there, be running that, either fracking stuff. I was running a tanker and it was the chemical, right? Some people run the sand and the water. I had the ability to run chemical because I had hazmat and all that stuff and training. Well, and I was pumping it off. Some people can't run a pump. It's a big step. There's all these big steps you got to take. But even getting into trucking in the first place is a big step. It's just after you've did it for so many years, you forget about the shit. You're like, well, it's just whatever. I did that a long time ago. It was a big deal to go and get the training you need and get a CDL and get on the road. But people are going to have to realize you better do something. You better do something. Because those jobs are not coming back. And the only thing there is the box store, and the box store doesn't use greeters anymore. Doesn't need, well, maybe they do, I don't know, but they don't need them. They don't need many people there. They've actually got it down to a science where they can cut it down to the minimum people, and you're checking your own self out, people. When you go to the register, it's a self checkout. So they don't need people at the registers. They don't cut it down because you're doing their job for them. Okay? So in your town, count it up, who's got the jobs, and then they might give it to their kids. It's called nepotism, when they hand down a job to their kids and their cousins and their grandkids and people they know and shit. And you don't get that job. It's like George Carlin said, right? He said some messed up shit that I don't agree with. He did say one thing I agree with. He said, it's a big damn club and you ain't in it. Well, there's small clubs, like called towns, and a lot of times you ain't in it. So people that drive a truck realize it's like almost like Marine Corps, first ones in. Well, we're the last ones out, though. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if you're interested in driving a truck, get a job, get your CDL and get a job over the road driving a truck, and put all that I love this place shit, bullshit, all that. You've been brainwashed, people. You have been brainwashed into, oh, I love my community, and oh, I love this place, and it's so good, and it's taking care of me, and all this shit. It's the same way that they teach you to grow grass in your yard when your ancestors grew gardens in their yard. You can water that grass, but it does nothing for you. You hear what I'm saying, people? Listen, I'm gonna say it again. If you have a yard and you done put out the best seed there is, and you done put out the best fertilizer there is, and you water it every day, and then you bought a sprinkler system, and then you're growing the finest grass on the block, right? Well, it keeps the dust down. That's about it. But what does it do for you? Do you get tomatoes out of it for free, right? How much money do you spend on grass seed when tomato seed is $1 something a pack, and you can grow thousands of tomato plants out of one pack? You got to think in a different way. It's a completely different world. Forget the economy. It's a completely different world. So till up your backyard, because they don't want you to do it in your front yard, but till up your backyard, you know, and start growing something that gives you something back. And then realize, hey, what else isn't giving me something back? Maybe your community's not giving you something back, like a job, because it's a small damn club and you ain't in it. You see where I'm at, people? That shit's called nepotism. Okay, Nepot was in Rome. Basically, he was the nephew of a rich uncle who was an emperor, and it's my understanding that Nepot was the nephew's name. Anyways, it's called nepotism when an uncle gives to the child or a parent or anyone who has money and who's well off. They're not the most deserving, they're not the most intelligent, they're not the best person for the job, but where are they at? They're at a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 banker's hours job that you don't have that pays good in your community. They can tell you to go to college, you can take that shit, but you can't take it to the bank. There's people out there who have college educations, who are just now getting out of college, who are competing with the people who got out of college last year, who are still competing with the ones from the year before to get a good paying job somewhere. So, a lot of them are creating their own online businesses. Unless you can do that, yes, trucking is a viable career. It's damn good, because you could get a job that company could be centered in Oklahoma or somewhere like Iowa or whatever, and as long as they'll hire out as far out as you are, most times, you know, they go a few states, sometimes they go all states. You know, plan on being gone a few weeks and make money and do what you got to do to actually have a real ass paycheck. Instead of making $200 a week, you can make $1,000 a week plus. Because I say that because anybody can make $1,000 a week, but you can make good money. You know, I don't know what else to say, but that's the reason I started my channel, was to teach the mechanics of it all. Because I already seen a bunch of new drivers come in, and I can't teach them all at fuel aisle. I can't. They ask me a question, I'm like, man, I already did it. It's on a video here. That's how the kids want to learn nowadays anyhow. Put the shit on YouTube, right? So, but absolutely get a job as a trucker, because that is the job that's available at this time. Now, I'm going to plug this up. If it comes to a point where there's, you know, a bunch of businesses that start making solar panels because it's the thing to have or whatever, and they need them, or parts for some kind of a new automobile, jump on that shit if it's in your area. But if it's not, don't dream and fall in love with inanimate objects and places that don't love you back. That's just the truth. So when you talk about Kansas, you know, the one guy said something about Kansas. If you're in Kansas, don't think you can't work over in Missouri, or, you know, 5 states over. Let's see here. When would chaos be over? I wish I knew the answer to that question. They're trying to stir it up left and right. They did, you know, break down Chaz, because that shit lasted about 5 minutes. That merry bunch of idiots, they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. They don't know what they're doing. So that was laughable. And then all of a sudden they need the police. So yeah, they're idiots, but they did it. They just had something else that happened, and I'm gonna get off this thing. In Philadelphia, a bunch of people, I believe it was Philadelphia, tried to go onto the main highway and then decided they were gonna go onto a tunnel. And you get to watch me get backed into, because for real, this guy's an idiot. So I ain't gonna hit my horn. Let him do his deal. So anyways, they were in Philadelphia, and they tried to get into a tunnel, and there was a state patrol and a couple other officers, and they were called in and all this stuff, and some idiot spray painted, I think, the state patrol's windshield, but that was stupid. They got on dash cam, but they they told these people get off the road. You know, they're being stupid and going to sit in the middle of the highway. What kind of freaking idiocy? I don't know. That's just beyond words. Idiocy is a new word. I just coined that shit. So they're sitting there in the road doing stupid shit, and then they go into the tunnel, which is even more dangerous. So the police went into the tunnel, got them moved back with mace, got them off the road and up onto a grassy knoll area or so, and maced the shit out of them some more, and then threw some white gas to make it easier with the mace on them or something. I don't know what the hell that shit was. So at that point, and this guy's about to be famous. I'm telling you, people just love being in my videos. So at that point, they pushed him up the hill, and it was an angle of a fence, and the fence was stopping them, and there was a big concrete wall with a fence on top of it, way up above them. And they're asking for help to get over it. And oh, they're macing us. They didn't give us any warning. They didn't. What the hell? They think they need a warning, or what they think how this works? This is not how any of this works. Like that old woman putting shit up on her wall. Look, and yeah, they unfriended their ass. They for real. They hit them with some good ass tear gas and pulled their mask down and sprayed their asses with them. They were sitting there, squatting in the road, and the cop come up and pulled the mask down and sprayed them in the face. And that's what they need to get them the hell off the road. Okay, get them the hell off the road. If you don't have a permit to have a parade, you do not have the right to stand in the middle of the road. You got the right to peaceful assembly. You got the right to protest. But once you're in the middle of the road, you are causing a danger to the public and to yourself. Because if a truck wrecks going up to that tunnel, and you're in that tunnel, or you're outside, or whatever, that creates even more of an accident. They can kill other people all around, or even a car, or whatever. They need to stop the bullshit. So, yeah, they got thwarted. They did not like the outcome. So you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You know, there you go. That happened in Philadelphia. I'll put a link up to it. There was a video on it. It showed how the people were moved and shit and whatever, man. Like I said, I have no sympathy for stupid ass people. I have no problem if you want to protest, but you don't have the right to do it on a highway. Really, you don't have the right to do it on any road unless you have a permit to do a parade. They'll give you a safe escort to that position. They'll stop traffic. They'll tell everybody on the news about it. Hey, we're warning you ahead of time. There's going to be a parade. They have a permit. Don't go that way. You know, reroute yourself another way so you don't back up traffic and hold people up. And they said people were beeping the horn in support. Now they're beeping the horn because they're trying to get to work. Bunch of fools. I'm telling you, these soy boys and these, like I said, these Antifas. That, like I said, I'll be so glad when they have all of them on that paper that says busted. That's what I want to see. And if anybody's got links to any of videos showing what these Antifa people look like, either without their masks or showing them in a way enough that you could pick them out of a damn lineup for real, yeah, put a link up on this as comments. I think the comments are open. I don't even know anymore. So people, I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm about to get going. I just wanted y'all to know that you could get a heat stroke in a hot minute in Louisiana, Gulfport, Mississippi, all this. It's hotter than three hells. And I'm gonna go get me a big ass case of water and fill up my cooler and put ice in it. So that's fixing to happen. And the crawfish pie. Actually, I'll eat this egg roll. Y'all can go ahead and make some comments. I'll give y'all another minute and I'm gonna get, because I know people like to make comments at the end, but I'm just doing what I do, giving out some intel. And I did talk to the one guy that I helped with the fifth wheel the other night. This is my channel, you know it. And you know, it's the same as the video I already did. I've done helped 1,000 drivers that have had stuck pistons on their fifth wheel. If you unlock your fifth wheel to slide it and the damn thing don't lock back, watch my video on there with the guy that's from well, the Serbo-Croatia area, kind of like next to Russia, whatever, that dude. And I've done taught 1,000 million people how to do that shit. I come up with that. I invented that. So it's a way to not have to spend $600 on a piston, okay? And to get your fifth wheel locked back up. It's not just for cold weather. They go out, they suck. Like, it'll release, but it won't lock back up. And this guy might actually have that problem right now, what he's doing. Because usually, I don't know, he's dropping it. So there's that, and then the other guys from the military that I met the other night that are in the convoy, those guys, yes, you got the right channel. Where you need to be watching is not this. Don't watch these videos. Don't watch my lives unless you're just interested. Put your nose into those two playlists, Fix It Vids and Trucking Tips. That's what it's all about. That's the whole reason you're here. You need to learn that, because you're not in the motor pool, really. You're drivers, but you're not in the mechanic end of it, and you need to know that shit. Like, keep a turbo boot clamp, an extra airline, and an air compressor governor, if you can get your hands on it, from the guys that are mechanics as spare parts. Y'all need a spare part box, bulbs, fuses, that kind of shit, and try to get your hands on some fuses that have the button that you push on top and it resets it, and it makes that fuse a relay. So you're not even popping fuses trying to fix a problem. It just pops a relay and you push the button back down, and you don't have to buy 100 fuses to fix one problem. That's the trick. And I'll put up the video I told you about caging a brake chamber with a brass and a valve stem, making a tool out of it and pumping it up, and you can change a brake chamber in 15 to 30 minutes flat. Believe it, people, especially when they're already cut. So, but the guys in the military, that's what you need to watch. Fix It Vids and Trucking Tips. So I met some people, you know, they were doing it, the convoy they're doing. When I started seeing vans, I'm like, man, wow, they're into trucking now, evidently. So they got the same trucks, they just spray paint them. That's same problems. You know, it's going to be, you need to learn about fan clutches, and you need to learn about not just having extra belts too, but the tensioner pulleys and the idler pulleys, they go out. So they start squealing and chirping, change them before they lock up, or you'll throw a belt and you'll be broke down. So rather than having to leave a piece of equipment or have them the whole damn deal broke down or some bullshit, you know. So I could just about, for the government, I could make a list and say, these are the spare parts you need to have. I need to do a spare parts video. I did a half-ass one, and I need to do a proper one, and I need to do a proper tool video. I'm just working all the time, you know. So these damn crawfish pies, man, I can't get enough of them. It's Louisiana, people. It's hot. Now, that's a good way to eat some crawfish. It's crawfish egg roll. Man, what the hell? You don't get no better than that. There's a lot of crawfish in one egg roll too. This is better than crawfish pie. Yep. Good time, man. Good stuff. Now, I was going to drop. I've got to go get a washout. I gotta get another load. I get rolling. That's good food in Louisiana. They can't piss me off in Louisiana. Like I said, even though they held me up, messing with me at the box store thing, I don't care. They got boudin balls that are fried, and crawfish pies, and these crawfish egg rolls. Now, the Petro down here, but they got the parking Nazis at the Petro, so I'm avoiding parking there. But I got to go there. You know, you got to use their services sometimes. But when you look at it, they got the parking Nazis. You know, they kick you out. I did a video on that. We need a Love's down here. So if Mr. Love's watching this, build a damn Love's. I told y'all people. Buy this place and turn it into a Love's and make it bigger. Push off the back lot. Push off the side. Buy a couple more lots with it. Something. No, we need a whole nother truck stop. We need another Love's down here. And if anybody's in power that can actually build something, is listening, truckers need, I done said, I've got a 4-point plan of what truckers need for parking outside of a city, but close enough within 30 miles of a city. We need a parking place that's like a rest area. You could put in, and it, just like in Ohio up there, they've got one that's a full-on atrium with some kind of a coffee shop, showers, be able to wash clothes in the laundromat. They got all that in just a rest area up in Ohio. So don't tell me that it can't be done. We need one of those north, south, east, and west of every city. That will make freight move, the economy go through the roof. It'll fix all of our logistics issues of the whole thing, and we'll go to truck stops. We'll still patronize them. However, we need that. It's a 4-point plan. North, south, east, and west of every city except for coastal cities, because you can't put one east of there on the east coast in the ocean, of course. So north, south, east, or west of every city. The twin cities, except coastal cities, the twin cities, we need 2 norths, 2 souths, 1 east, 1 west, and put 1 dead center if you have to. But forget about Minneapolis, St. Paul, because we ain't trying to go there no more. You're welcome for that. The people who earn that, y'all earn that shit. We're not going there. Truckers ain't having it. So, it's not a boycott. It's about business. We can't make no money if people are parading like idiots with crappy stuff on their heads and dancing around in the middle of the streets. Can't make money like that. If they come at your truck, it's not good. Now, speaking of, if they come at your truck, you know, just a refresher course, which this is about checking your tire. This is about checking your tire. This ain't about nothing except for checking your tire. Okay? So, it's kind of a handy thing. About $5 at the Pilot. And there's that. And then I got a pocket knife. You know, it's kind of big. This pocket knife's kind of big. Yes, sir. So, there's a few things that you can do. I have a video that teaches those things. It's called How to Stay Safe in an 18-wheeler. Something like that. I think it's in Trucking Tips. I don't know where I put that one. Good times. So, anybody jacks with your truck, you already know these things if you've been trucking for a while. But if you haven't been trucking for a while, you got to have some kind of a security in your truck. You keep your dash cam and all that, but that does nothing. You know, because when there's a how many minute response time, you are your first responder. You're going to take care of you yourself. So, keeping all that in mind, and you can run your safety belt through your door, like I showed before. But the people who know it know it. We've been doing this for years. People that don't know it, you know, you should if you're going to be a trucker. And anybody that thinks they're going to try a trucker, that's what they're going to get. They're going to wake up in a hospital not knowing what the hell happened to them. That's what's going to happen. Big old bump like Fred Flintstone. Y'all watching them cartoons and shit. That's your reality. A big Fred Flintstone knot on your head. So, jack with a truck if you want to. We don't give a shit. Truckers don't have feelings. We lost them a long time ago when the freight rates went down. So, if there's anything else people want to talk about or say, go ahead. But meantime, peace and happiness and, crawfish. Just saying. Right? Let them antagonize an Antifa. This is the thing too. I got something for Antifa. I have a really good bunch of intel that I'd like to help Antifa with. After the Nazis lost the war of World War II, they moved to Argentina. They built them a whole enclave. There's a whole bunch of sympathizers that still live there, but forgetting about them, there is thought to be worldwide a club, a group of neo-Nazis. There's about 800,000 of them worldwide. I would challenge or recommend for any of those Antifa people, which is supposed to be anti-fascist, and they're supposed to say no Nazi, and they've got some of these idiots even put a Nazi damn flag on there and a bar through it like it's supposed to mean no Nazi. He's got the flag on him. He's an idiot. Point is this: if you're looking for people who are fascists and looking for people who are Nazis, go find them. Go find some skinheads, some neo-Nazis, and they will kick your damn ass. Straight up. So all these half-ass wannabe, they think they're going to change something in the world by sitting in the middle of the damn ass road, and they want to say that they're anti-fascist and anti-Nazi. I can tell you where the Nazis are at. Go find their ass. Go find them and tell them what you're about. Okay? and get your ass handed to you and go crawling back home to your mama's basement and regroup, black eyes and all, and whatever's left of you if you're in the hospital or dead. So for real, they are full of shit. They're not anti-fascist. They're starting shit in the middle of the road with no one. They have no enemy. There is no enemy to be found. It's not a field of battle. Field of battle has two people on it, two different opposing sides. And one is from usually a government, and another government has got the other side, and there's going to be a full-on war, right? The shit they're doing is not a field of battle. They're not taking on their enemies. They're just talking shit and getting on television and saying they hope somebody hits somebody in the damn face. Well, find your Nazis. Stop finding our streets. Get the hell off of our roads. We don't want you there. You're unwanted. We don't need your bullshit. It's performance art bullshit, and it accomplishes zero. You're just causing terrorism. So get the fuck off our streets. I'm just saying that. I can say that. You know, that's just how I feel. Everybody else can feel how they want to. But if you're looking for those fascists, talk to some neo-Nazis. There's about 800,000 of them worldwide. Good luck. I think they outnumber you. On a field of battle, I think you would be like an Eminem in the ocean, ready to melt. I don't see how that they would stand their own. Anybody's got any opinion on that? Let me know. You know. Some of them are getting hit in the streets and shit. I'm gonna get off this thing. I gotta get back to it. I had to stop and get something to eat. So, take care of business and try and take care of the world. Y'all need food. I can guarantee you that, because, like I said, they jamming us up. 30-minute appointment times. They're killing us. Good. So, we're going to do the best we can with our clock, our little 14-hour day. And by the way, if you're running anything that's food, we no longer have the exemption as of a couple weeks ago for the coronavirus thing, but you can still PC if they refuse you. You can still run, and you can still request if you have a 14-hour clock and you've only did so many hours a day and there's traffic, you can request an exemption for an accident that causes traffic and that kind of shit. So it's not like we can't do our jobs. They make it difficult, but they give us a little bit of exemption. It's kind of a little bit of a help, you know, not enough really, but it's a little something. And hopefully you can find a parking spot. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna get off this thing. Stay hydrated, and don't be outside long out here. 108 degrees. It's hot. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe. I'm off this thing. Peace.